It was about a week or so ago. We had some special guests in studio here to talk about the upcoming event with the Amy Foundation, where the bicycling event and the walking event have now been combined into one super duper event, I guess is how we called it, where it's the Amy Foundation Ride and Stride that will now be happening, and that's coming up on the 23rd of this month. I have a couple special guests with me here in the studio here who have been taking part in this event for the last couple years with a couple of pretty remarkable stories of their own. So let me introduce my special guests who are here. Let's see. First, we have Samantha is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Samantha. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And we have Samantha's mom, Suzanne, who is here.
Good morning.
Welcome.
You for having
Thank
us.
you both for being here. Am I pulling you out of school, Samantha? I'm not going to get in trouble for you not being in school today. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll get it covered. So you've Samantha, you've taken part in this event the last couple years, right?
Yes.
Why do you do it? Why is it so important to you?
Because I do a lot of charity work, like between different charities, and this one was like really special to me because my aunt did have breast cancer, and like there was something about it that I really liked, and the people that did it, they're very positive, and I was around them for a couple years because my mom worked in the breast center of St. Peter's University Hospital, so I kind of knew everyone, and they got me into it, and I feel like it's just charity work. Just doing it in the beginning is very important because you're being selfless to yourself, and then you're caring for others.
Sure. It's got to make you feel good, too, when you have such a young girl who's so involved in helping people. She wants to get out and kind of make a difference for people.
You know, I wish there was more kids out there that did the same thing. You know, when
me
kids
too.
get involved, in things outside of their everyday life, it makes a huge impact in the world. Since third grade, Samantha has been doing this bike ride, 15 miles. 1 year we couldn't do it because she was sick. And she's paid for over 30 mammograms in the early detections of breast cancer. And that money went directly to the breast center at St. Peter's University Hospital. And it really goes back to the patients. And my time working with Dr. McManus and Dr. Hopkins and Dr. Dixit made a big impact in that. And it really opened my eyes. When I was young, and I was about Sam's age when my aunt was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I remember that day, my grandmother sitting on the porch crying. And it's always stuck. So to teach my kids to do something for somebody else and not for their family, but for some random stranger is very important, in today's society. Giving back to the community is important.
And who knows how many lives have been saved by the money that she was able to raise to pay for 30 mammograms. I mean, the early detection, of course, is the key to beating this thing. Who knows how many lives this will prove to have saved at some point. Just an incredible thing to do.
Exactly. And she has a goal this year, another 10 mammograms. It's $180 for a mammogram, and it's to help pay for those that are underinsured, because there is that situation where people are underinsured these days or uninsured in the early detections of breast cancer. So it makes a big difference. And
that is the mission, of course, of the Amy Foundation with regards to these two events that they've put together that are now going to be happening together. It's the Ride and Stride, they call it. And it's coming up on the 23rd, this Sunday, right? Where South Brunswick High School is where
Correct.
This is all going to happen, right? So still time for you to get involved, and you can check out the website, amyfoundation.org, for more details. But Samantha, you have a team that you're putting together, right? You want to get some riders for your team?
Yeah.
What's your team's name?
Pink Knights.
The Pink Knights. I like it. Looks like a Rutgers night a little bit, right? Like a profile.
Why don't you tell them about what it's about?
Yes, I'd like to know.
So, like the breast cancer ribbon is pink, so I got that part. And then Knights is because I have my former cheer coach with me, and our mascot was Knights.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it makes sense then. Okay, so you got a team here that you put together. So, and you had some health concerns of your own. You're feeling up to it now. This is this bike ride. This is tough. This is a lot of miles to be riding, but you're going to be good to go.
Yeah.
All right, getting a lot of rest and watching what you eat and getting ready for the ride coming up on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for you. That's an awesome thing. So you're going to be out there doing the ride. Then you do the 15 miles on Sunday. So a little bit of a detour 1 year where you had to put in a couple of extra miles. You missed a turn or something on the way back?
Yeah, someone didn't mark a turn, and we had the, I guess, like one of the founders. And Maya, who's one of the founders' daughter, she was riding with us, and we kept going. We almost got into like a highway because someone forgot to mark a turn.
Oh,
and we
don't you
had to
hate
go through
that?
all
Okay.
these streets and everything.
All right, because you go by, there's marks on the road, right? If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. I did the 15-mile ride about 2 years ago, and I give you all the credit in the world. I was ready to quit after about 4 miles. I said, I barely started this thing. So, and you follow some lines on the road there. It's real easy to miss one if you're not paying attention, and you get kind of tired toward the end. I know I certainly did too. But I think what kept me going is I got about 10 or 11 miles in. I said, listen, this ride is for people who are going to, in the fight of their lives, and the least thing I can do is finish this out for them as best I can. And that great lunch that they put together at the end, boy, that is worth it, just to get together and have lunch and talk to everybody about their experiences with whether it was the bike ride or with the walk. So get some information at amyfoundation.org. And Suzanne, you had worked at St. Peter's there in the breast center. We've done a lot of work with them over the years here on this radio station. You see just how important that early detection is for a lot of people. And I say people, not just women, because
and women.
It's 1 in 10, about 10% are men diagnosis, right? Correct. How many lives that early diagnosis is still key in beating this thing, right?
It really is. As the doctors have said, early detections, it's the most important thing. Getting that mammogram, I know it's stressful for some women, but it's important. And there are resources out there like the Amy Foundation that helps to pay for those men and women who cannot afford one or are underinsured. And, someone like Samantha and her team, I'm on that team, as well as my younger daughter's former kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Melissa Greco, and we keep going, and it makes a big difference, and we all work together. This year my husband was requested to be a chaser car with my younger daughter, so he's always been behind us, and last year he was picking up bikes along the way, first aid kit, and this year that he was asked to be a official chaser car, so that's important. Samantha has asthma, so that becomes a little bit of a concern that day. We're all a little stressed, not knowing what's going to happen.
Of course, sure.
But, she's got a great team of doctors, and you know what? She's able to be like any other kid. So riding a bike is important.
Yeah, I agree. Is the humid weather, does that kind of impact you at all, Samantha?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be concerned about the weather. When it's humid like this, it's a little tough for you to breathe, right? Yeah, okay. Hopefully we have a nice dry day on Sunday, so you'll be able to kind of be in top physical form for this. We certainly hope so. So we're going to come back. We'll spend some more time with our special guests and talk about the event that is coming up on Sunday, which, by the way, there is still time for you to register, to make a donation. You can get a lot more information at the website, amyfoundation.org. There's photo galleries here, and at least one of these pictures, Samantha. I'm going to go through and look for you. Maybe they got a picture of me, like, out of breath from a couple of years ago. But you'll find it on the website, and do get involved, make a donation, even join Samantha's team. If you want to do that, you could do that as well by visiting amyfoundation.org. With the deadline coming up quickly to register for the Amy Foundation and their big Ride and Stride event that is coming up Sunday, I'm so grateful that Samantha Hanlon and her mom, Suzanne, could both be here today to talk about the event that is coming up. So now it is two great events combined into one, the Amy Foundation Ride and Stride. So whether you want to ride the bicycle portion of it with different lengths of the ride, or you want to just take part in the walk on Sunday, you could have your choice of either. And of course, the big celebratory lunch that happens at the end is always a great get-together as well. So amyfoundation.org is the website to visit. There's still time for you to register, whether you want to ride the bike or go for the walk. Good luck keeping up with Samantha if you're going to ride the bike, because I think she is ready to go. She's going to do 15 miles, and she is going to show up so many people. So, but whatever you can do to get involved and contribute and make a difference. And again, it's about helping out people, whether they're underinsured or uninsured, when it comes to mammograms and breast cancer and early detection. And there's a lot of upside to getting that done. And of course, it's what the Amy Foundation does. It's been hundreds of people probably over the years they've helped, right?
Correct.
Easily hundreds, right?
And it goes to, the money just doesn't go to St. Peter's University Hospital. It also goes to Princeton. I think it's called the University of Princeton Medical Center now.
Yeah.
It goes to Robert Wood Johnson, I believe both campuses. And I want to say also there's another hospital down in South Jersey, but I can't recall off the top of my head.
But it's like a network of hospitals
Correct.
that they partner with and make this available to as many people as possible.
Correct.
So, yeah, and it continues. The demand continues to be there. That's for sure. So it's great work. So, always like to helping people, Samantha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a nice way to help people out, right? What do you do when you're not going to school or practicing for your bike? You have hobbies? You have other things you like to do?
Yeah, sometimes I go with my dad to my grandmother's house because she was in front of a huge field, and I go ride my dirt bike. And
Dirt bikes too?
Mini bikes
Wow.
and everything. Or I'll go home, play with my dogs, jump on a trampoline, go see friends.
Nice.
So.
All right. She could maybe consider a career in motocross or something, right? If she's like an
My
enthusiast,
husband
that's
would
good.
be thrilled.
I mean, Monster Jam. I could see her out there driving a monster truck or a motorcycle or something. But good for you, and great thing to do to be able to help people out like this. So, again, it's coming up on Sunday, South Brunswick High School, a bike ride of various lengths, and the walk is a 5K. So, trying to determine around the parking lot or maybe the football field. It depends, right? But they'll lay out.
Not sure.
It'll be a nice course, no
we'll
matter
be
what
riding
they lay
15 miles on a bike, and Samantha has been asked every year about the path and by Ari and the team, and what do they always ask you? Was it acceptable? Right?
Yeah, the first year is pretty hard because there was like a really steep like bridge.
Yeah.
And I could not get up. My former cheer coach would not let me get off my bike. I'd have to continue.
Okay.
Because there was no shoulder, so you were so close to the car. It was very scary.
Right. I think I know that bridge.
I
think that bridge might have got me a couple years ago too.
It's a little nerve wracking for even an adult. But I can't imagine being a young child and being like, Mom, really? This is really safe?
Yeah. But it is a safe route that they do have set up there for the riders. So, and I've noticed the first couple miles, everybody's like, yeah, this is great. We're just going along. And then the people start kind of distancing from me, and then I got to catch up a little bit. But at the end of the day, when everybody kind of gathers at the end and they cheer for you when you cross the finish line, that's exciting, right, Samantha? Yep. When you finish the ride and people are waiting for you cheering, that makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Are you going to try maybe a longer ride one of these years or what?
I want to do, I think it's like 25-mile one.
That's the next one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to do that one.
Mom, you good with 25 miles one of these days?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. Well, you're not going to do the 15 if she's got that down, right?
You know what? She does it really. I mean, she does it in under 2 hours.
That's
under
incredible.
2 hours.
Wow.
So it's a big deal for her, and being an asthmatic, that's important.
No, sure.
One year, we were right on the road that's just coming in front of the high school before you make that last turn to go into the high school. And I borrowed a bike that year, and an awesome friend, Mrs. Spur, let me borrow her daughter's bike, and the pedal fell off.
Oh, no. Wow.
I'm sitting here laughing because I remember that day. I'm like, my husband's like, why are you walking the bike? Because I have a pedal.
Right.
So
I guess the pedal got stripped out and popped that little thing there, right? Well, that won't happen. Yeah, that'll be okay.
We get our bikes, tuned up right before, make sure everything's good, and then they always have a bike a bike shop that's right there, and they're checking tires, making sure you have air. It's a great fun event, and they're really trying to bring more people into it and more of the family experience.
Yeah.
Samantha is one of the youngest riders for this bike ride. So we always ask people, like, come join us. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to get out there and, see different parts of, South Brunswick. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's a nice ride. Yeah,
It is.
It is nice, yeah. And again, it's a safe ride. It's a nice scenic ride. You go by farms, you go through some town areas, and it's really well laid out. So again, it's about the mission of the Amy Foundation. So do get involved. Again, the website amyfoundation.org. It is coming up Sunday. So if you're planning on getting a team together, you want to come out and do the walk or do the ride individually, do hustle because we're down to just the last couple days. And this will be happening at South Brunswick High School on Sunday. And one more time, the website is amyfoundation.org. And they've combined both events this year into one big ride and stride event. So if you're going to be riding the bike or doing the walk, we thank you so much for your involvement. But do get involved for the event coming up on Sunday. Suzanne, thank you so much for being here. And I guess you played chauffeur today too, right?
Yes, I actually have to call out of work. I mean, it's tough when you have to call out of work for something for your kids. But you know what? Both my daughters are very important to me, and whatever is important to them is important to me. And making sure that I teach them to make a difference in the world.
That's it.
And
that's it.
I know my job is done. So that
that's how it's done.
But thank you so much for having us. It's a very big, important opportunity for her, and for being 12 years old, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, we just put this together over the weekend, so I thank you for hustling everything together. And Samantha, you going to brag now that you were on the radio today?
Yeah.
Yeah, brag to your friends. Say it ain't bragging if you can do it. So, because so good for you. And really, what you're doing is remarkable. So good luck to you on Sunday with everything, all right? And thank you both for being here.
You're welcome.
Greatly
Thank you,
appreciate
Bert. I always teach Sam to stand out in the crowd, never in the crowd.
She does. She stands out, that's for sure.
Important.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you both for being here.